Yo, I swear I only have really random and funny stories on how I get like inventory. So I went into a thrift store tonight and I was looking around and I didn't see anything. You know, always looking at shoes and I didn't really see anything. But I got to the very last rack, very last bottom. I see this sign. I can tell the brand name is Lanvin, and which is a very like high end designer. So I grab it. I look at them. I can tell they're dirty. They have like a little light odor, actually a strong odor to them. They actually really stink. Yeah, like I'm holding my nose stink. But I take them to the front because I didn't have a price tag on them. I'm like, screw that. I still want them because I know they're a solid brand, and all I have to do is really clean them up. And I asked the cashier, who I actually know very well. I'm like, hey, these don't have a price on them. Can you like maybe tell me how much they cost? And she's like, oh yeah, someone just traded those in, so really you can just have them. So I of course took them and I'm gonna clean them up. So I actually just left dinner with some friends, and it was a really good dinner. We had a lot of fun, great conversation, really cool people, stuff like that. But then I had this really like late night burst of creativity, and I kind of wanted to actually do a YouTube video. So I need one product to actually do this YouTube video. I always hate being that guy who's like recording himself like walking through the store. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do to make stuff do what it do. You feel me? So you probably remember those Lambin shoes. Yeah, I'm gonna try to clean those up tonight. Need some disinfectant wipes or something because they just really smell and they stink really bad and they have that like hot foot odor. You know, that hot foot odor. So was gonna do the spray, but because I don't like normally do this, I'm just gonna grab these wipes. So this is how I found the shoes when I saw them on the rack, and like I said in the previous segment, I noticed the insole, like how it was just kind of like had like a nice leather, like a leather glisten to it, like it was just kind of really standing out there. So I knew it was something a designer shoe. And after I looked closer, I saw the Lanvin title, which is a very high end designer. You know, he makes really nice shoes for men and women. So, as you can see, the shoes are very dirty and they have an odor too. You can't really smell it, of course. But they have a, you can tell they were kind of previously worn and worn very well. But the beauty of them is they're a good quality, a good made shoe. So you don't have any holes in them. The edges aren't really like pulling apart or anything like that. Sometimes you'll see that with different shoes. But you can kind of see the original color is like kind of a gray color. And it just changes colors all over the shoe. Um, Soles are in good condition. There aren't any holes there, which is really good. Because if they were holes, I would have grabbed them honestly. Because like I tell you, damage always sells very well. But for the most part, like these are in decent condition, and at least a condition where I know I can restore them to a level where they can at least sell for a decent profit. And when I say a decent profit, I can at least make $25, at least 25, if not more. Um, Yep, so these are the shoes, and next step, let me go over the products I'll be using to get them back together and looking better than this. So the first product right here is Folix. Folix is a carpet spot remover. That's what it's advertised as. But a lot of people actually use it for getting stains out of clothes, and I actually like getting using it to get stains out of shoes, the rims of the shoes, especially like rubber sneakers and stuff like that. It works really well, and you can find this at your like Home Depot. I found this bottle at my local grocery store. You can find it at Home Depot and in the cleaning supplies area. Bed Bath and Beyond sells it. I want to say it's like $8. This bottle is like $7, $8. It's a lot. Yeah, and it works really, really well, especially like I said, on getting stains out of clothes and stuff like that. So the next thing right here is the Lincoln Easy Suede Cleaner. This is something I bought today at the shoe cobbler place, the shoe repair store. My cobbler recommended this. He said this is something really good to get the dirt out of the shoes and stuff like that. I've used this stuff in the past and it's worked really well. So I'm excited to see what it does to these shoes. One thing I guess to note about this too, what I've noticed in the past, like anytime you're cleaning a shoe, whether it's leather, whether it's suede, no matter what material it is, expect for the color to be darkened. Meaning right now, like you can see the shoes kind of have like a already dark or light gray color or tint to them. My expectation is for them to come out as a darker gray. Uh, just a note, like nothing to be afraid of, but just a note. So if you're trying to keep something bright, color bright, my best suggestion is to not clean them, just to leave them as is, because what happens is when you use stuff like this, it usually darkens the color of it. For that stuff, I'll show you how to use this, but you'll need a bowl and a fine, like hard bristle brush. My cobbler, he recommended that I could use a toothbrush, but I just prefer like something a lot bigger. I actually got this from Amazon, like a Suede cleaning brush. It works really well. It helps like really, get the dirt out and really scrub the shoes clean. So this is something that you can find on Amazon, or you can just, find an old toothbrush around the house and use that. So for the odor, like I said, the shoes have a strong odor. I found this tonight. This is called Odor Eaters. It's like a spray powder, just to kind of get like the anti-fungal, get the smell out, get all the odors and stuff like that out. So this is gonna be the first level of defense or whatever. So I want to try this out and try to get the shoes smelling better. If that doesn't work, and I'll probably still do this anyway, just wipe a disinfectant lemon scent wipe in there just to try to get it smelling better. Because I told you, like, the person had just worn them and it smelled like he or she had just like ran a mile or something. Like, I'm telling you, they were very, very hot and funky. Right here we have just a generic Febreze. It actually has some real Febreze in it. I had acquired a huge, like, big wholesale type bottle of Febreze, and I just had this bottle, so I just kept filling it in there. But like, just a February refresher just to keep the shoes fresh. So if none of that stuff works, I'm gonna resort to this. And last but not least, if that doesn't work either, I'm gonna just throw some dryer sheets in there. Dryer sheets, usually smells out really, really well, so I'm gonna throw that in there. And here is my like cleaning rag. As you can see, it already has a lot of love on it, from different like shoe polishes and stuff that I use. It's just something that I have. You may want to grab a clean rag. This is actually a clean rag. It's just stained from other polishes, but yeah, just have like a rag on site just to kind of wipe stuff down as you go along. So these are the products, and let's get, and then of course, wherever you're working, like, I'm working like on a counter, so I want to make sure I keep the counter clean, even though I'm not using any paints or anything like that. I still want to make sure that I protect the counter. So, maybe have something out to protect the counter. And these are all the products I'll be using. If I use anything else and I don't mention it, I'll make sure I highlight it so you'll know what to grab if you're out trying to replicate this process. First thing I'm going to do right here is take the laces out of the shoes. The reason I do that is because the laces can just get in the way, and you can't really, it's hard to kind of clean around them. It's a lot easier just to, pull them out and put them to the side. What I always suggest when you're taking laces out of shoes or anywhere, make sure you put them in a place where you can remember to grab them. Like, I've lost laces of shoes before, and it's not a fun feeling having to like tear apart everything, trying to see where you laid them at. So just put them in like a safe workspace. I would say just keep them nearby. Don't put them in your pocket because you might just forget to grab them from there, but definitely put them somewhere else. So I took the lace out of the shoe. It kind of gives me a more easier way to clean. And now the first step that I want to do is I want to use the Folex to kind of get this this rim cleaned off as best as I can before I actually start playing on the suede. I kind of, for some reason, like to work starting from down and work my way up. It just kind of just looks better, and this is just what I like to do. So I'm going to grab the Folex and I'm going to start scrubbing away, trying to get this part clean as possible. So what I'm going to do first is take the Folex and kind of just spray the rim of the shoe with the Folex. As you can see, like, the reason I like to start from the bottom is because sometimes the residue will kick up on the shoe. This stuff shouldn't damage the shoe. Like, sometimes I may, depending on the shoe, I may put like a layer of the tape or something like that just to kind of protect it, but it shouldn't damage the shoe too bad or worse than it already is. So I'm going to spray some Folex, and then I'm going to take this brush right here, and I'm going to start scrubbing away. And as you can see, a lot of the dirt's already pulling out. I'm going to take my brush, and once I take my brush, I'm going to just kind of like dab it on my cloth. That's why I say it's good to have something down there. And then I'm going to take my rag and I'm going to wipe clean. As you can see, the shoe has already started to really like change or transform. So I'm going to keep doing that on around the shoe, just scrubbing away, you know, trying to get as much of that dirt out. You can see the dirt particles are kicking up. And as I do that, I'm going to just use my rag to kind of get it down. Now, you can actually spend all day trying to do this. I know some people who just enjoy like cleaning the shoes up. So what they'll do is they'll basically spend like all day just trying to get it white. My goal here is to get them to a point where they look decent or better than they were. I'm not trying to like sell them as like new or anything like that. I just want the soles to, like I said, look better than they did before. And so far, as you can probably tell, they already are turning around. So right here, we can see a big difference already compared to what the other shoe looks like. And it's already starting to look a lot better than this. So I'm going to go around the entire shoe, both shoes, you know, just kind of doing that. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll let the Folex kind of sit in and really, like, depending on how strong the stain is, just sit in and really get it out. Oh, as you can see, like, so what I just did there is you can see the shoe has like kind of like a rib sole. So instead of like rubbing horizontally, I'm going to scrub vertically to hopefully, you know, to get more of it out and kind of get into those creases with the bristle brush. And as you can see, that's already made a huge difference. So once I do that, I'm going to wipe it off. So I'm just going to actually keep repeating this process on around the shoe. So scrub, 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 and then wipe. And as you can see, it's some, I don't know what that is. So like, as you can see, like this stain right here, I don't know why that's not coming out, but you know, like I said, the goal wasn't to get the shoe back to like new. It was just to get it back to a newer condition and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do that for both shoes. I get them as best as I can, and then we'll move over and start doing this way. So I'm gonna continue that, and like right here, what I'll do here, I don't want to get my brush too extremely dirty. Actually, I do. So I'm gonna just kind of clean the bottom of the soles as well. I usually don't clean the soles because most people, like as you know, walk on dirt and it doesn't really affect the shoe as long as the outside. But there are some people who will look and they'll be like, "Oh, that looks so disgusting. It looks so dirty." So, you know, I try to, you know, clean it up as much, because as you know, when you're photographing on eBay, you take a picture of the sole, and sometimes the sole could tell that one story for the buyer, saying, hey, you know, those look too worn, or they may say, oh, those look, you know, pretty decent, so I'll still buy them. So I am going to clean the sole as much as possible. I'm not going to do like a deep clean, but just to get them where, you know, they look a little nicer. So yeah, so start cleaning that up. That's actually the first step, getting this all over. So I'm gonna, you know, keep this up, and I'll be right back once I get most of it done. Boom. So as you probably can see, the shoes look much better. So the rim, which I just cleaned with the Folex, you can see it's a lot more whiter. The dirt's gone. The soles, you can actually read the sole of the shoe. One thing that you can see, probably saw with this shoe, is kind of like a pink stain. I don't know exactly what that is. I've tried to use like goof off or Goo Gone, excuse me. Try to use Goo Gone and rubbing alcohol. Sometimes that stuff works, but it's embedded here. The buyer of this shoe, of course, is gonna know that it's a used shoe, and that if that little mark makes a difference, then you know they don't need the shoe. But for the most part, you know, the main thing what I want you to do is just get a lot of that dirt staining off, and as you can tell, I did. Still, like you said, as you can see, some small residue there, but my goal wasn't to get the shoe back to like new. It's just to get it to a decent condition to, you know, be sold on eBay. With this, as you can tell earlier, a lot of dirt was over here. I just kind of shook this out. So, you know, just making sure that, you know, I keep my surface as clean as possible, because I don't want to embed more dirt back into what I'm trying to take dirt out of. So what I'm about to do now is try to tackle the smell of the shoe. Now, as I told you, these shoes have like hot foot odor. I'm talking, you know, I'm holding my nose trying to, you know, record this video. So first thing I'm going to do, and what I always do, is when I'm selling a used shoe, I always check the insole, because as you can see, a lot of times it can be like dirt particles in there. Remember, if you thrift your shoes, a lot of times, someone may have had them in storage, someone may have had them in a house where, they weren't really, taking care of it. So it may be insects or bugs. So the first thing I always do is try to check the insole. Because they smell really bad, I'm gonna actually use a Lysol disinfecting wipe, or not even a Lysol disinfecting wipe. This is the generic brand, but it's like Lysol. This is what I showed you earlier. And I'm just gonna wipe the insole down and try to get as much as this smell out, and try to get. You can see, oh wow, so it's like clearly a dirty insole, or rather, it may not be dirty. I might be pulling up the paint. I don't know. I got to be careful because sometimes you can pull up the luster of the shoe. As you can see, it's kind of already dark or rubbing off. So just be careful with that. But I'm just gonna basically take the shoe over here and try to, scrub in, and I can feel some stuff in there and try to, just get that all cleaned up and stuff like that. Oh wow, you see that? Yeah. So if you have a weak stomach, be careful watching this video. I'll make sure I put that in the description. But yeah, so just kind of digging in here, getting all that stuff out, from where the person may have, just been trekking around and stuff like that. So I'm going to take that and throw that one away. And I'm going to grab another clean wipe and kind of just do like another run through and get this all clean out. It's actually starting to, well, at least I smell the lemon, so that's a good sign. Gonna get all, flip it over and try to get under here in the tongue area and scrub that out. And still a little odor to it. I think it might be embedded just in this cloth part, so I'm gonna have to try to do something else to get that out. But for the most part, the Lysol wipe just to basically get all these dirt particles and just stuff like that out. And as you can see, that actually worked very well. So I'm going to do that to both of the shoes. So that's one. And like I said, the good thing about always making sure you check the insole, sometimes what I've noticed when I've done my insole checks of shoes that I was getting ready to sell, I've noticed there may be a nail that's sticking up. So sometimes people donate shoes back for different reasons. And it might be because the insole is, just worn. And you don't want to end up shipping those shoes out because the person who buys them, they're going to try them on and they're going to be really upset with you because they most likely thought that they were getting a shoe with a solid insole. And if the insole is difficult or hard for them to wear on their foot, then just, causes problems. But so yeah, just always whenever you're getting ready to buy or a shoe to flip, make sure you check that insole out and look inside and feel inside too. Some of you might be germaphobes, or you don't want to get your hands dirty or something like that, but it's a part of your job, so you got to do it. I'm gonna just wipe down these tongues because it could be the odor just sitting in there too. So honestly, it smells a lot better. Yeah, I just did a sniff test. You probably heard that on the camera. It smells a lot better, but it's still an odor there. So I'm going to actually use the Odor Eater's foot spray. So I'm going to unlock it right here, shake it up really well. So yeah, this is what I'm using. And then I'm going to just spray on the insoles. Whoop. There we are. Okay. So getting that in there, let that fume around. I'm going to do the same to the other shoe right here. Actually smells like a really powder. Get that really good. I'm just going to let it kind of fester in there and stuff like that. So now that I've done that, and that already smells really good. So what it says is it'll show up white like this, but what it'll do, it'll dry clear. So it's just going to eat that odor up. And it honestly smells really good. Kind of strong, so I'm kind of holding my nose now. Probably want to do that in a well-ventilated area. But the good thing is the shoes for now smell really good. So while that sits in there, I'm going to move on and start working on the suede part. Now that I've already got the odor eater in there cleaning, and what they say happens is that it will chalk up like this, but then it should dry clear. If not, I'm going to, of course, probably go back in there and just wipe it down again with a disinfectant wipe. But now I'm going to work on the upper. So what I have here, first I want to bring out my bowl, and I'm going to bring out the Lincoln Easy Cleaner as well. You only want to pour a very small amount in there, and the reason being is the water will get dirty. You'll see this when we start cleaning, but the water will get a little dirty, and it's a lot easier to just replace a small amount than just filling it up and having to throw out too much. You really just need like a very small amount, like you can see right here. So what I'll do is I'll first like make sure that you like kind of rinse this bristle brush off, because you don't want to take some of the dirt from the rim of the shoe and put it back onto the upper. So I'm gonna just basically dip my brush into the solution, and I'm just gonna take it and just start rubbing it into the shoe. So as you can see, what happens is it should foam up, like kind of do a foamy bubble right there, and you can kind of see how it kind of got some dirt on there right there. The foamy, the foam should dirt up, and that means that what is doing its job is lifting the dirt out of the suede. And what I usually do is take like a clean cloth or whatever. So you might want to grab a clean cloth. I didn't mention that first, my apologies, and just kind of wipe it off so you can kind of see what you've already done. And I'll take it again and just dip it back in there and just go over the whole shoe like this, making sure that you scrub really good to get all of that dirt and those different particles out of the shoe. And of course you want to do that to both shoes, and in the process too, you want to make sure that you already clean this, so just keep wiping this off so you don't have to basically redo your work. And you want to just keep dipping. As you can see, the water is starting to get dirty. So once it gets really dirty, what you want to do is just simply replace it. It's kind of like when you're washing dishes. You don't want to wash clean dishes in dirty water. Same thing. You don't want to clean your shoes in dirty solution. So I'm going to just keep cleaning these up, and then I'll be back to do like a smell test and just kind of look at the shoe and see where we're at with it. So I've just finished running the Suede brush over these one more time. As you can see, they're like basically look much better than they did before. There's still some spots and stuff like that, so a lot of times you can't get everything out, and when you're selling used shoes, you have to determine if it's worth it. For me, I don't think it makes a difference. I think the person who will end up buying this will just like this shoe for itself. And they may have like a gray suede cleaner or suede polish that they can actually put on there, or put a coat on there, just to kind of get them back to like almost like new. But for the most part, I think these are good to be sold. There's still like a slight odor in them. So I was on my Instagram page, and a lot of people were commenting saying, hey, you can do this, or put shaving cream in it. I heard someone say put it in the freezer. So of course I'm gonna try a few more things, and I'll update the video, or at least update the description to let you know what I've done. But for the most part, the smell is mostly gone. So I won't like make a big deal of them. I'll still say something. If I can't get it out with these next methods, I'll say something in the next video, or excuse me, not the next video. I'll say something in the description when I get ready to list them, just so the buyer will know, like, hey, beware, it might be a slight odor in there. But for the most part, the shoes look much better than they did before. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you like what you see. Make sure you comment below, and follow me on Instagram so I'll know that you've seen the video, and I'll know to do more videos like this. These are the Lanvin shoes, and now all I'm going to do is, actually while I'm here, before I actually say bye, sorry, I'm not done yet. I want to actually put the laces back in so you all can get a picture of how they look. And like sometimes what I'll do is I'll clean the laces. So I'll like run them through like soapy water and stuff. But these laces weren't really dirty, and they're already kind of a brown color, so I didn't see a need. And I actually smelled them, and they didn't smell either. So I don't see a need in actually going and scrubbing the laces. But sometimes some people, especially for white laces, some people like to doing it too. I'm just kind of like don't really see a need for these. Now I can do my farewell. So these are the Suede Lanvin Chuckas, and to me they look much better than they did before. If you like this video, if you like what I've just shown you how to do, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, so I'll know to keep doing more videos like this. And again, thank you for watching.